Well, it gives me great pleasure now to bring the man of the moment, Mr. Vaidyanathan, Managing Director and CEO of IDFC First Bank, to talk about the IDFC First Bank and IDFC Limited merger. Now, it was officially announced in December 2021. The fine print in the merger ratio, everything is out, and the market will be reacting to the swap ratio today. Mr. Vaidyanathan, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Walk us through what were the factors and what was the consideration to arrive at the swap ratio?
As you know, we have to follow all statutory processes for making this happen. So the basic consideration was that the extent of value of the holding that IDFC Limited shareholders held in the bank, they were holding close to 264 crore shares, and the shareholding of IDFC Limited itself was about 160 crore shares. So effectively, every shareholder of IDFC Limited was holding effectively in a see-through way about 1.66 shares of the bank in any case. But then there was a holding company discount and all that, and then there's a fair process of valuing these things. So after fair processes, we came to 1.55.
Okay. Is it fair to assume that IDFC Limited shareholders, they should be given a holding company discount, because it's only in India that the discount is very high. Globally, that's not the case.
Well, like I said, there are fair processes around these matters. There is a value for the bank, there's a value for that entity. There are market practices, there are precedences. This is a fair process that you run through independent valuers, through fairness opinion by bankers, etc. You go through the process. The whole thing is that you find a value here, you find a value here, and you arrive at a value. We think the whole process worked out very professionally, very smoothly, and we're quite happy with the outcome. That's really fair to actually all shareholders.
So what is now for the shareholders of IDFC Bank in the short term, medium term, and long term once the merger goes through?
Well, that's a very long question, but let me just say that I want to think long. In the short run, let me just say that there is no overhang of someone holding 40% and what they're going to do with it, and there was so much of market speculation. All that is gone. Let me say speculation is gone. We are going to simply issue shares of IDFC Bank to the shareholders of Limited. Against 1.66, we're going to issue 1.55. That's it. So that's clean. Now, so speculation over in the short run and clarity. In the long run, if you think about it, this becomes a perennial institution because there is no promoter. So think of like how ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, JP Morgan, whatever. You think of large institutions, they with a diversified public shareholding, they grow and grow and grow and grow forever.
Compliment you for the grit and the perseverance which you've demonstrated. It was not an easy merger. It has been a couple of, initially the first few quarters were tough, but in last 4 to 5 quarters, the banking business of IDFC First Bank has made a roaring comeback. So can I say that the bank and the franchise has just embarked on a multi-year growth journey?
I 100% think so. I think the really good thing about the bank, now that corporate structure issues are all out of the way, the core of the bank will now begin to emerge even more to people. The short point is that bank has a really very good business model, very profitable, very high asset quality. Corporate governance is really top class. So I feel that everybody, like once in your channel, I said your non-believers will become believers about 3, 4 quarters ago. Now you'll all watch and see what this bank will turn out to be. I think it'll be really good.
So what's next for Mr. V. Vaidyanathan? You were with ICICI Bank as a professional. You started the NBFC business. Then there was a merger. Now there is a merger between IDFC First and IDFC Limited. What's next now for you?
Well, it reminded me of a lot, actually. Yeah, there were like 4 or 5 deals that have happened in 10 years from that one, and then the merger with IDFC Bank, and now this merger. Now onwards, let me just say it's like more like settling down, because I think now we should look forward to a very stable build-up of the deposits, of the loan book, and let me just say all the adventures of 5 years of these 10 years are, let me say, behind us. And now let me just say it's more a stable performance and a stable, lookout, let me say, over the next decade. That is, I'm looking 1 decade ahead, and I really believe it's going to be something.
So can I safely say that IDFC Bank has now settled? And like you said, that the high growth patch which you just referred to is real, and there are tailwinds both from the economy, and there are levers which are internal, which will ensure that the next 3 years will be better than last 3 years?
100%. I have no doubt in my mind. Last 3 years were all complex things because we had to deal with all those, complex asset issues first. After merger, the names, they're all well-known names. Then, and there were like big amounts, like 4,000 crores of, bad loans we dealt with, Vodafone, Reliance, all that, Capital and Dewan and all. Then from there, we solved the issues, asset issues went away. Then we solved the liability issue. A CASA ratio became, moved from maybe 10% to 40%. So the liabilities got sorted. Then profitability got issues sorted. Now we are very profitable. We posted PAT of 2,400 crores last year, and the trajectory. Let me just say that all the items are behind us. Now even the corporate streamlining is behind. I really think that the next 3 years, you should expect from us to deliver much better results.
I'll take a leap from your answer that the corporate structure of the bank now is completely streamlined. So in the overall scheme of things, what changes because of that?
Diversified shareholding, because there is no promoter after once the deal goes through. So once there is no promoter, then whenever you need capital raised from the market, and hopefully very soon our own internal generation of capital will be very strong. It's already touched at 12% from the last quarter's numbers. So basically, diversified shareholding, large institutional investors, probably even getting to the MS index. I read a report this morning. So these are really, and that will be frankly a very big moment. So we are looking forward to building a great bank.
So can I say that IDFC Bank now that size and the merger will increase its book value, is on its path to really become from a mid-tier bank to a large cap bank? I mean, that I think is clear looking at the way how this merger will give you reach, scale, and will shore up your book value.
Yes, as part of the process, the book value per share for IDFC Bank shareholders will go up by 5%. I told you we'll issue less number of shares than what we'll cancel. So therefore, we're going to issue 16 crore less shares. So, and also there is 600 crores of cash coming from approximately, give or take, in IDFC Limited. So short point is book value per share goes up. And that of course is an immediate upshot, let me say. But finally, of course, in the longer run, these things will be forgotten. What we're going to build will remain.
And personally for you, if I may take the liberty of asking, are you feeling settled about this marriage, or you're still looking out for new adventures?
No, there have been many adventures over the last many years trying to find a stable landing place, let me say. And I think we found a stable landing spot. And, we just look forward to a happy marriage from here on, yeah.
Well, I haven't had a chance, Mr. Vaidyanathan, to meet you for a long format interview, but now that this merger and the swap ratio has gone through, I'm hoping that you can accommodate our request for a long interview where we can do chai and coffee ke upar gup shop. It could be chai for me, and I'm sure it'll be coffee for you.
Thank you. Look forward.
Appreciate your time, sir. Thank you very much.